Hi Scorpio, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your mid-month May tarot reading. This is a reading for all Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thanks to all of you for all the support. I send you love and appreciation right back every single day. And if you're new here, welcome. I post new readings on Friday, then again on Monday. So if a reading doesn't fit, just come back in a couple of days. You can watch a new reading. Fridays are always a general reading. So those bring in aspects of money, moving, travel, anything you could ask about. Mondays are a different style every week. Today's reading will be a detailed Celtic Cross style reading. But next week could be something totally different. So if you like tarot and you like the channel, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to Higher Source Tarot. What advice do you have for Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What does Scorpio need to know, please, for the best and highest good of all involved with Scorpio? Messages for Scorpio, please. All right, we will start here with the tarot, then we'll have a couple of oracle cards. Current situation, 10 of Wands, immediate influence, justice, 8 of Pentacles in your subconscious, Ace of Wands in the distant past, 3 of Cups in the more recent past. The star is coming towards you. You're going to be ready for that because you're represented by the Knight of Wands. You have death in the person or situation you're attracting, 5 of Wands in your hopes and fears. This is interesting. 4 of Wands in the outcome. Aren't you going to be blessed? But 4, 5 of Wands right next to each other, which is interesting because we have 78 cards here. So when they come out in order, that's important. The bottom of the deck, this is really nice too. Now we have 3, 4, 5. This is wild. Okay, we've got 3, 4, 5. And so the 3 came out as one of the shadow cards. So I do feel like with this, you have a change, but ultimately with the 4 of Wands being in the outcome, because the 3 is like you're making the move, you know that it's happening, and the 4 is you have arrived. So I do feel like that's important. But back to these guys, we have here Cancer, we've got Scorpio, of course, we have Libra, and we do have Aquarius. We've got fire, quite a bit of fire here, earth, water. All right, so I like it. I like this a lot. Somebody here in a love relationship. If you're in something now, even though the death card represents the person you're attracting, I do feel like it's really more of a representation of your partner. Sorry, I had a rabbit come right up to my window and I jumped. Now, I don't know what you think about rabbits, but I've always told they were good fortune. So just to let you know, I almost wish the camera was pointed right at that rabbit. That would have been fun. But either way, back to you. You have somebody coming in who's going to be very compatible with you. I also see too with that Chariot energy and the 3 of Wands, travel coming in. Now it might be with your significant other. And if you've been through a rough patch, if you're in a relationship, I see you as reconnecting with that 2 of Cups. You have a soulmate connection. You have somebody here who's going to be with you for the long haul. Now, and you do have a wedding in the outcome. You have an engagement and a wedding here. So with this though, if you've been through, like we were talking about with that 10 of Wands in the middle, if you're in a challenging period right now, I don't see that lasting. Now, if you're going to make a change with the 4 of Wands and the Chariot tells you take that leap of faith, move forward. That law of attraction energy will guide you. So if you keep getting those intuitive nudges and things that just seem like coincidence, they're not coincidence, they're co-occurring incidents where it's almost strange and people around you go, God, that was weird. And you kind of want to go, do you listen to Abraham Hicks? Do you listen to, and you want to almost ask what's their background in law of attraction or mystical laws. But I do feel like with this, you're going to have perfect timing. All right. You're going to see all the things that you need to see that are going to be unavoidable, that will keep pushing you forward, Scorpio. So with this, in the current situation, I like justice here because it's going to balance things out. Now, for somebody, if this is a work situation where you felt very burdened at work, justice will be perfect. It's the perfect card because justice is served. So especially if somebody's dumped on you or they haven't been pulling their own weight, or you agreed to it to help them get by, or you're starting something on your own with the 10 of Wands and it's been a hell of a lot of work, because whatever that 10 of Wands is a burden. All right, the Ten of Wands is not an easy load to carry. It's like feeling burdened, carrying the weight of the world. And it's for some, it's also saying you need to lighten the load if you've been too many responsibilities. You've been too responsible for other people. So with this, it might feel like they're asking too much of you, but with that Ten of Wands, tens are a new cycle. So it really truly is a time where you're about to make that shift. And like we were saying, justice is the perfect antidote. Justice brings in balance. Of course, it's got the scales of Libra balance, but it's also she's also wearing the gown of the Emperor and the sash that represents the Empress. So if it's a relationship too, and in the past you've really carried a lot, I do feel like you're going to come better into balance. If you've had difficulties in a relationship, it's going to be corrected and the communication is going to come back into play, back into a better place if there's been a lack of communication. And you feel like you're the only person in the relationship, like you're just sort of carrying this relationship by yourself. I do feel like you have a shift, a change here that's going to make things a whole lot better. But with this, ultimately, justice is about the absolute truth. So it's also everyone seeing this and coming into alignment with it. Well, the Eight of Pentacles, eights in your subconscious are nice numbers to have because they're vibration. So your subconscious has you making gains. The Eight of Pentacles builds up. It builds up long-term stability. It also, too, Pentacles represent the physical body, and with death in the area of what you are attracting, the situation, for some, you may leave bad habits behind. If you've had a year where you say, I just feel like I need a cleanse, or I've got some toxins build up in me. And again, we're not using this for medical advice, but I do feel like somebody here, you're going to get focused, and this is going to be your year where you really get things in order and you say, I don't have any bad habits. A year from now, you're going to come back and say, I kicked them all and I kicked them for good. But in a relationship, this is long-term, and in money too, long-term success. It's also too about being focused. So if you've had a relationship where there just hasn't been enough attention on it, you're going to get back into putting attention on the relationship, because if we don't do that, it kind of withers away. Anything that we divert our attention from, we ignore completely, doesn't usually thrive. So this, your focus will help to have that situation thriving. So you have quite a love story with the Ace of Wands, Three of Cups, and Four of Wands. But it's also, too, any new beginning. This is in the distant past, so you had something that got off to a hot start. It was quite a thrill, and it could have even been a reconciliation. I mean, this can be the apology, the olive branch, the reunion, and then, of course, the marriage, the happily ever after, the Four of Wands, one of the fairy tale cards of the deck. This is a very important storyline here for somebody, and it all begins with that Ace of Wands. So if you say, I was here, we were there, and things have fallen by the wayside, I do feel like with the star energy coming towards you, you're going to get back here, where things are going to be feeling good, where you have a real partnership. I have to point out, too, we've got both the Two and Three of Cups, which is important because, again, with the 78 cards being here, we mentioned it with the Wands. Let's give the Cups fair play, too. I still feel like with this, you have that singleness of purpose. I would have liked the Ace of Cups. That would have been pretty exciting, but still, I do feel like with that Ace of Wands, it's like the flint that starts the fire and allows this to grow. So the Three of Cups is appreciation. It is real love. It's celebration. So for some, even if it was a job, you may have started off and said, this is the greatest thing ever. How did I get so lucky to be here? But I do feel like you have a shift coming in. There's something about that because you're in that burdensome energy right now, or at least that's what it's showing. And the cards don't lie. So with this Three of Cups, I do feel like you can get back here. Threes are happiness, their synthesis, their positivity. And with the energy of the star, I do feel like this is a card of also telling you to take care of yourself. It's self-care. It's nurturing yourself. It's taking time for yourself. So especially with that burdensome Ten of Wands, the energy, I mean, the cards are trying to tell you or give you advice on what to do. They are telling you to take a moment to make sure that you're taking care of your own needs, getting enough sleep, enough water, enough hydration, whatever it is, even going to the water. Somebody, if you live near a beach, or you live near water. It might also be literally having you get back and be connected with this. But it is an energy of wish fulfillment. It is an energy of renewed hope. So I do feel like there is a shift coming in here for you, Scorpio. The numbers 7 and 8 are often associated with the star. So you might have a revelation, this inner knowing. And you're definitely with this having an influence on others. So for somebody, if you need healing in a relationship, here's where you have it. Now, if you had a relationship that ended and you are still single right now, I do feel like you may meet somebody new. You have wonderful companionship. If it doesn't really take off as a love relationship, I still feel like you have a great companion who's going to be there with you with the star energy. Somebody too with you who they may have great ideas. They may be somewhat of an inspired character where you feel like you could just talk to them for hours. So even if it's not a love, I do feel like you have somebody that's got quite a sense of, just brings in a sense of camaraderie. Well, this represents you little Knight of Wands. Now we know knights come in to get the job done. And so you may find too, if it's a job situation where you want to, you know, we've got that 10 of Wands burdensome energy where you take charge of things, because this is expansion, it's leadership, and it's also stepping on the gas. So you might say, look, you have to hire somebody else. We have to have more people here. Or you get very specific. I feel like you get a little outspoken here too with this one. It's not as aggressive as the Knight of Swords. That could be a bad thing at work. But with this one, you're not afraid to stand up and say, hey, this would really help. So with this Knight of Wands too in a relationship, this is where the chemistry comes back into play. This is where there's thrill and there's romance and there's fun and spontaneity. So I do feel like things are going to come back into balance. Those of you who are very overworked, with this, you're going to have a little more time to play, a little more free time. Well, whoever you're attracting, they've got this death card representing them. So the situation, it can be who or what. You are attracting a transformational time. And it also could be your partner is already connected to you. All right. They are compatible with you, or this wouldn't be here. And so with this though, ultimately it is new from the old. It's letting go and bringing in a rebirth. So those of you that have felt like you barely can make it through to a Friday, you know, when they talk about Thursdays are day 4 of a hostage situation. This is where you say, I'm not going to live like that anymore. I got to have some balance. I got to have a job that actually isn't making my life a negative situation. So with this, you have a dawn of a new day. You're going to have a new opportunity, but you're going to have a huge shift in the energy that's going to allow you to let go of some of those responsibilities that were just too much. That's what they feel like. So the 5 of Wands too is a change. Now, if you're getting married with that 4 of Wands and you already know what's planned, I do feel like some of this is the shift in bringing things into balance. Like if you're planning something like a wedding and it's just been taking up a lot of your time, and even if it's been a little frustrating, with this 5 of Wands, it's going to be an end to the chaos, an end to all that energy. The 4 of Wands, though, is ultimately, it's a true partnership. It is a firm foundation. And it's law of attraction energy. So with the 4 of Wands, you move forward, you're celebrating, you're saying, this is it. This is worth it all. So in a job, things are going to be flourishing and blooming. And it, like I said, it's just not going to be as much work. But in a relationship too, it really is a time where your partnership is going to grow and thrive. So let's see now. We'll have the Fortune Oracle first for you, Scorpio. What advice do you have for Scorpio about money, please? What does Scorpio need to know to attract money? You've got the moon. Interesting. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. So with money matters, I do feel like you have a shift coming in. And then we'll hear about love from the Fortune Oracle. What does Scorpio need to know about love, please? Embrace your emotions. Allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. So we said that a little bit with the Knight of Wands, didn't we? So there are good things coming for you, Scorpio. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.